Hey, Kristen Marie. How's it going, love?
Oh,
Let
can I
me make.
like the stream on my end?
Yeah, you should be able to like the stream on your end.
Maybe I'll just do it from my computer.
Let's see. I'm just making sure that I do see everything here. Let's see. All
What's up,
right.
everybody? How y'all
I just got to
doing?
refresh one thing real quick.
I
There we
realize I
go.
don't
All
even need
right.
my headphones. I got my headphones on.
It, it's working. It's working, dude. I see it.
Working.
All right. I'm so excited. All right.
All right.
There we go. All right, and we're live. Hi, everybody. I'm Eddie G from Base Showcase, and today we have a very, very special guest here on air with us. In case you may have seen us on Son of a Merc's channel, yes, that is Shug Nasty right here.
What's up, everybody? I see AMP and Pokemon just popped in. Kristen Marie, what's up?
Yo, AMPM Pokemon, my guy. I'm so happy you're here. For the first time ever on Bay's Showcase, we have a guest here with us. We are not using
Am I the
Streamlabs. We
first
are not.
guest?
You're the very first guest ever.
What?
I, I've I've shot content with people. I've done collabs. But that's stuff that we filmed, or I've had live streams where I've had people there physically with me, but I've
Yeah.
never ever streamed and had somebody way across the world over in Japan streaming right here with me,
Damn.
right here in the lobby. You're the very
Thank
first.
you. I feel
Very
honored.
first. So I think that deserves a little swig off this ice cold monster. And no, we're not sponsored, but Coca-Cola, put your damn act together. Send me some monster. Send me some money. I'd be drinking this shit on stream anyways, baby. Let's freaking go.
Nice. Yeah, chat, let me know if you can hear construction noises in the background. Hopefully not. I plugged in
Yeah.
my computer mic to my phone, so hopefully it cuts the extra noise out of the way.
If y'all hear the noises, it's a-okay. We don't give a damn here on Base Showcase. Here we don't polish it up. We don't edit it up too nice. We just love it raw. We want it unfiltered, and that is what we're gonna have tonight. Tonight we're gonna have a conversation. Boy, it's gonna piss some fucking people off. We're gonna get right into it. Y'all here are probably here for one of the very last live streams that I'm ever going to shoot on this channel, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get canceled. I'm pretty sure that the community is going to band together and cancel me after this one. But boy, do I have a hot take today. I mean, should we just dive right into it, my bro? Or you know what? Let's
Yeah.
get a blinky going. Let's get a blinky
Okay.
going. That way, at least later, when Opossum Bud, Rock Sandy, and everybody else that's amazing in the community tears me a new one for being an asshole, I could at least blame the blinkies.
There you go. I won't have an excuse.
Yeah, collateral damage. You were just there.
Yeah. You'd be like, it was all Shug's fault. He made me do it. Yeah, I kind of told you before too, when you brought this topic up. I made a video similar, not totally it wasn't too long ago, but it's not totally the same thing, but on the same theme, I think kind of I guess if you want to introduce it, let them know, let the chat know what your question or your we're not quite what was it? It wasn't even a question.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. But I'll let you let them know since it was your topic you brought up.
All right.
Is this
Before I do, I'm just gonna say hi to everybody really quick in chat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read everybody's message, so I am sorry about this, but we are doing a vertical live stream. It's gonna be completely different. It's gonna be a little new for us here, but I am gonna give everybody a shout out really quick, just in good old Base Showcase fashion. First person that I did see in chat, of course, the lovely Kristen Marie. Thank you so much for being here. You know I'm gonna need you here tonight, girl. You know I'm gonna need you here. Thank you so much. AMPM Pokemon, what's up, my dude? Like I said, super glad you're here. Super glad you're here. Spicy topic tonight. Oh boy. Y'all aren't ready for this one. Y'all aren't ready. I FOMO. I FOMO smelled a fire brewing, and he's like, what is this? I must be here.
Yeah.
And then, yep, I see you in the chat as well, bro. Shug Nasty. Let's freaking go. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to do something real quick, Shug.
Shug is Yakuza.
There we
That's funny.
go. Type something in chat for me real quick, Shug. I want to see if it worked.
Oh, what did I hit something?
Yeah. Yeah, something got hit. There we fucking go. You see that little
Oh, I'm a
blue?
mod.
That's right.
Yay.
You know, I don't ask anything from my mods, but bro, we're on a podcast together. It's gonna happen. You know what? I see something else. There we go. All right. I did something. I dropped a couple wrenches. People caught them. There you go. Oh, you see it? You see it there at the bottom now? All right,
Yeah.
there we go. My fellow podcast mates, y'all have been modded here on the channel. All right, let's get right into it.
All right. Yeah, I
Pokemon.
don't know if I have enough time. We'll see.
Well, if you do got to dip, you got to dip.
Yeah.
I completely get it. I'm stoked that it worked.
Yeah, it
Honestly,
looks
like
cool.
that was the first thing. I didn't even know the live stream was gonna work properly. But let's dive right into it. All right, and I'm probably gonna just read it. I'm just gonna read the message as I send it. Remember when we were talking about it a little earlier? Because I think I honestly put it down like
Yeah.
epic right there.
Yeah,
All
you,
right,
you should just read it. It was pretty good how you wrote it.
all right. So fuck it, everybody. Here it is. I got one hot take, and it really is one hot take. Pokemon seems like it is no longer a place for occasional hobbyists, the hardcore player, or even a seasoned collector. With the prices we see, the scalping in place, and proliferations of the rip and shit market, coupled with extreme price swings orchestrated by a few on the secondary market, it is now it is now a place for a new type of fans or consumers or a community, if you will. That is the gambling community. We see how everyone is betting on certain cards or certain packs or certain sets to hit and make a big return on an investment. We see astronomical prices paid for singular packs, which are torn through the countless lot through which are torn through sorry, I messed that part up. We see astronomical prices paid for singular packs, which are torn through like countless lottery scratchers. So people just tear through a pack. They don't even do a pack trick anymore. You just go right to the hit. Oh, it wasn't anything. Get another pack. Go right to the hit. It wasn't anything. Almost like if you're just scratching the bottom barcode of a scratcher and scanning it to see if you won. You didn't even play the game on the scratcher anymore. You're just not a winner. Not a winner. You get me? Um, and that's all in the search of contents worthy of a price superior to their selling point. Just like when you're scratching a scratcher, you don't want just a ticket. You don't want to win just a ticket. That feels like a loss. You want to win a $5 bill for a $1 scratcher, or you want a $100 bill for a $20 scratcher. Just like in Pokemon now, the pack isn't worth shit unless you get a pull that's worth way more than the price of the pack itself. Just like a lottery scratcher. Um, we see people buying mystery bags in hopes of hitting a jackpot, just like when you're gambling, when you're hitting a slot machine, and they do so at inflated prices from some sellers. And the biggest gamble of all is the fact that we send in our precious investments to some third party who will review the said item in hopes of giving it a 10 grade, which is supposed to receive a larger return upon selling. But there's no solid formula behind it, which is followed to a T. So personal bias and corruption is impossible to rule out in that situation. Yet we continue to say, well, this company is a little bit less biased than this company, so maybe this company is going to be worth more, when at the end of the day, it's still the same card. The whole market priced out the normal person, but has drawn in gamblers who have pockets deep enough to handle a few minor losses. Hell, they're used to losing thousands and an instance in a mere couple of hands on a high limits table. What is it to them if they're paying double or triple MSRP when they're on the hunt for your god packs that you can no longer get? Pokemon. Oh, wait, the last part. Pokemon equals the new casino of our modern day. And that's where I dropped the mic.
Mhm. Yeah, dude, that was so good. Um, I don't know if you
Again,
want to.
One more second. One more second.
Yeah.
Before Opossum Bud and Rock Sandy and everybody in the community bust me a new one. I'm just a stupid fucking stoner who doesn't know shit, who spends money like a motherfucker at the store for shit that doesn't mean a damn thing. Woo wee!
Woo-wee. uh,
All right, let's
there
go.
you go. All right. So yeah, it's a big thing to unpack. See how much we get through, but I've had similar thoughts in the past. Not too long ago, like I said, I made a video called Elitist and talking about the Pokemon card hobby and how collecting, or the collecting aspect of it, it was becoming elitist. Like there's levels to it, and it's
Hmm.
you can't. It kind of depends on perspective ultimately, and what you collect. I talk about it in the video too. Like if you're a set collector, or if you're a trophy card chaser, where there's like super limited pop, like the Pikachu Illustrator, the Super Secret Battle promos, all those cards that go for tens of thousands, hundred thousands of dollars. Or if you're like a species collector, I think if you're like a species collector, it's a little bit easier for the most part. And yeah, I think it's still like a what's the word? It's still appropriate to talk about all this in this time, especially more now, even more so than when I made the video. But gambling is a big part of it, and I didn't really discuss it in that video. But I think that dopamine hit that you talked about, and how there it's like so much, it's so like ingrained, and you just see it in everything, in content out there, and how people are just wanting that rush of getting that next big hit. And it's like we all wanted that, we've always wanted that, but it's like they're rushing through it, and once they get it, they're on to the next one, trying to get
Yep.
another hit, trying to get another hit.
Yep.
um and yeah, like too, like people don't even do the pack tricks. I didn't even think about that until you just said that now, but that used to
Yeah.
be the thing. Like you have to do the pack trick, like, and or
I
you either do the pack trick or you don't. But people just like, they barely even look at the cards. They
yeah.
spread them out and they look for the one, and then they get to that, and
I still do
move
the pack
on.
trick.
Really?
I, like a dumb piece of shit, still believe
What's
in the
up, Annette?
theatrics behind it. I do the pack trick. I still show every fucking card. I still give the code card to the people in the chat the same way where you show it to the screen so people could either scan it or something. I love it. To me, that's a part of the show. It's Bay's showcase, not
Hmm.
Bay's shop, not Bay's here you go and get the fuck out. You get me? I want
Yeah.
people, if there's a pack opening, we're gonna spread it out. It's gonna be a fucking minute or two to show a damn pack. We're gonna enjoy every fucking art on every fucking card because I'm not just selling shit. But that's something that I've seen. And honestly, I'm not talking shit about anyone and I'm not dropping anybody's name, any channel or nothing. But that's one of the things that has turned me away from a lot of content recently. I don't want to fucking sit there and just, here you go, here you go,
Yeah.
here you go. Like, what the fuck? Someone just paid an inflated fucking price. Put that shit
Yeah.
on a damn silver platter for them. Put on some white gloves. Give them a
Facts
damn
on that.
presentation. If they're paying top dollar, give them a feast for their fucking eyes. And I
Yeah.
think about it, and people go more to it, and it's just gambling. That's all it is. It's like
Yeah.
when you see a crowd of people outside of a liquor store, outside of a 7-Eleven, outside of a freaking donut shop. Why? Because they're selling lotto scratchers inside, and all fucking day, scratch, scan, scratch, scan, scratch, scan.
Yeah.
And we become like this fucking rat that's waiting for their cheese. And that cheese, that's held by Pokemon, and they decide who gets the cheese and when they get the cheese and how often they get the cheese. And you know how that's fucking visibly apparent? Because in Pokemon Day, they gave out Evolving Skies pack. If you bought a certain package on Pokemon Center,
Oh,
you got
really?
a sleeved Evolving Skies pack. If you bought a plushie and a statue, it came with an Evolving Skies pack.
This last
There's
Pokemon Day just
this was
happened?
yesterday
Oh,
on the
wow.
Pokemon Center website.
That's crazy. I didn't know
They
that.
didn't do a reprint for Evolving Skies. They're not reprinting anything with yellow borders right now. That means they're holding on to this. It's not the freaking distributors that just hold on to shit. Pokemon is holding on to shit.
Yeah, that's
Several
crazy. I
years
didn't even
old.
know that.
Evolving Skies is what? $30 in the fucking secondary market? And Pokemon
Yeah.
Day is just sitting on it. I mean, not Pokemon Day, Pokemon
Pokemon.
Center is just sitting on it. They're like, I have your Evolving Skies. Why? Because they want you to buy their shit that you didn't want to buy. Those plushies that didn't
Yeah.
sell, the statues that don't fucking sell. Now we could sell them at a little higher price, maybe. Now they're a little more hyped up because you get a pack of Evolving Skies. That makes this such a big bundle that's worth it. That's the hype that drives us. And at the end of the day, why? Because we're all gambling and we're still trying to pull that fucking moon bunny. And that's our best shot at it.
Yeah,
You get
that's
me?
wild. That's wild that Pokemon was giving out evolving sky packs because
Yes.
that's like what
It
you
was
said.
all
It's
over
like that.
Discord.
How did they get those? Did they buy them back from somebody, or were they just holding on to them to
Again, I'm
give them
sorry for
out?
this rant. I'm sorry if this gets me canceled in the community. I'm sorry if this
You're not
steps on
gonna get
toes.
canceled.
I'm sorry if this fucks me over, but god damn it, I
There's
get to
so many
do a
good things in the
fucking
chat
rant
too.
once a year. This is my fucking rant, you know?
There's so many good things people say in the chat too. Like iFOMO said, we've been wired to get that hit of adrenaline every minute of the dang day, and that's kind of like true. Like they talk about it with like Instagram Reels and TikTok, and how
Yeah.
you're swiping, and it's like the same thing. Like you're pulling a lever at a casino. You're pulling that lever to hit that
Yep.
jackpot, and it's like you're doing this all day to get the next dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Same with the packs, but yeah, the rip and ship. Like you want that hype when you get that big hit, hundreds of people watching. Usually that's not going to happen probably if you probably aren't going to get lucky. But yeah, when you were saying too, you brought up another point and where people just pass over cards like unless it's like the biggest hit of the set. Some streamers won't even like they'll be like, oh, you got a hit, and then go to the next thing, and it's like that's actually a really cool card, and like why are we taking time to the person just paid however much money, you know,
Yes.
and they're just already on to the next thing. Um, can you hear the construction noises? Anybody? Okay.
Nah. And
It's
dude,
really loud right now.
if you need to step away just to like let them know something, you could just come back. Like you
Okay.
could
No, I
just
just want to make sure because it's like
yeah.
super loud on my end. But yeah.
I needed to do this rant. I needed it. Like I'm telling you, I said it in our group message. I said I needed to get this out. I needed to go on. I need to go live. I need this out. This is how I feel on it. You get me? Like
Yeah, it's a big thing.
yeah,
Like you touched on I mean the theme of it all is like the gambling and the dopamine hit and everything. But like in that
yeah,
whole thing that you read earlier, like you talk about the grading too and how we're gambling with we're like not maybe more speculating gambling whatever you want to call it, but like more speculating on okay is do we grade our cards with PSA? Do we grade them with this company? And then there's another level of it too because you don't know how consistent the grader is going to be. So you're gambling when like maybe I'll get a 10, maybe I'll get a 9. I don't know what I'm going to get. Um, and that determines the value if you're reselling and stuff like that, or the value of the card and how the market's going to view it and like see your collection. So there is an element of gambling there too. But yeah, you talked on like a lot of different pieces, and it definitely the overall like culture or community within Pokemon has changed, evolved. I think not to like I don't think it's completely like changed. I don't think like there are still some like really cool collectors and people that are there for the for what it was in the beginning. Like you, that's one
yeah.
of the reasons I like your channels because you go through like 10 packs and I don't know, but it'll take you a while. Like I think, and I
An
like that
hour.
about you. You're like hanging out, having a good time. You'll go through a pack every 10 minutes or whatever it is, probably around there. But a lot of people don't do that, and so it's a refreshing to see somebody enjoying, what they're opening and enjoying the whole experience, not just rushing to get to the next pack. And yeah, it's really cool. I think there are people still like that, and yeah, it just depends on perspective and how you collect, what your collection goals are, because uh, like Opossum, he mentions this in his video too. Like when you can't get product in times like these, when you can't get modern product, you just stop buying it. You don't have to chase after it, because it's really hard to get. So like, why worry about when's the next drop come in? I'm gonna stand in
Yep.
line here. I'm gonna wait for it here. I'm gonna pay this crazy price for it now. Instead, just go look back and see what other cards you can get because there's tons of cards in the past that you could go and they're really cool. And some people I don't think even like me myself am finding stuff from the past that I've never knew about before, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh, that's super cool. Like I'm gonna start collecting these cards, now. So I think there are people that still have that in them and still collect and are not like doing the gambling or chasing that dopamine hit all the time. They're they're more casual with it, and they're able to step away when the market's like crazy, like it is right now.
Yeah. So part of the reason why I said, well, I didn't mean like only gamblers are here. I have
Yeah, yeah,
three things to say. I'm a fucking gambler. First and
yeah. Me too.
foremost, I'm a professional gambler. It's been in my fucking taxes. Like I've been paid out, hand paid by casinos, and I've had to report it on my taxes several years in a row because I'm a fucking gambler. That's first
Mm,
and foremost. Never been silent about it, never hidden that shit. I've been very vocal about it to those that know me pretty well. So this isn't talking shit about gamblers. I'm a damn gambler. Sometimes when I'm ripping through packs, I know I'm gambling because I could buy the cards that I need for a set, but I like that chase. I like that whole, to me, when I'm going through Pokemon, right? When I need to get Pokemon cards, I feel like when you're going through packs, it's like you're out there in the wild and you come across this Pokemon and you fucking finally got it. It feels more like the game, like that little thrill of the chase. Like I had
yeah,
to go through this many packs for that Pokemon because it's a hard to get one. It makes it more like a legendary thing. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's what I like about it. But like even with trading card sets that are shittier, that are cheaper, that are like dirt cheap, I'd rather go through the packs. I know that's the gamble because you have odds against you in a pack. So this isn't talking shit about the gamblers, but it's kind of more of an admission of it because I, as a gambler, know it. I've been here all along. Gamblers have always kind of been here, but I feel like the proliferation of it has exploded. Like
yeah,
instead of it just being a collector's thing where only collectors have it and they're these pristine things and they're these slabs and you have them for display. I don't feel that's the bulk of it. Instead of it just being mostly the players and it's players that have a bunch of cards because they're building a bunch of decks and they're going out. I don't feel like that's a bulk of it. I feel like a bulk of it now is the gambling aspect. I feel like that's the focus. When we look through content, it's no longer, I got this special collection and it took me years. And look, I finally found it. Look where I got it. Now it's, this card is worth this much. Or it's, I got
yeah,
this for sale. Or it's, I can make this much money if I get this. Or it's, I got this whole thing and it's worth this much and I only spent this much. I came up. I feel it's the gambling aspect. That's what's bah,
yeah,
right in your face because that's what's big. That's what blew up. That's the bulk that's coming in. If it wasn't already here and everyone's like, okay, I'm going towards this, like hovering towards this aspect of it, that's what's drawing people in right now, you know? And
yeah,
with gamblers, that's why I mentioned that at the end, they're used to losing thousands instantly. You could go to a high stakes Texas Hold'em poker table in Vegas and lose $50,000 in 3 minutes. You
yeah,
think a motherfucker like that's not gonna drop 10 grand on prismatic evolutions because a god pack is 5 grand and he could sell the rest and still make money after he hit the single god pack? Because it's a
yeah. There's
gamble.
some,
It's a
yeah.
gamble. I'm
That
gambling 10
probably it kind
grand
of
if I hit
answers.
the
I would say it kind of answers iFOMO's question too. How is it possible people have this much disposable income? And I think it's just the market, and we're getting a lot of new people coming in, like a lot of sports guys with big money coming in. There's people like on Facebook groups that I'm in, like sports cards Facebook groups that are like, I'm switching to Pokemon. Like they've never touched Pokemon, didn't play with it as a kid, and they're like they're thinking about going from sports cards to Pokemon. So that might be one of the reasons. AMPM said credit cards too. It could be, yeah, people are over leveraging themselves with debt and just
Mhm. But wait,
make.
how is it
Go ahead.
over leveraging yourself for debt? If you instantly drain your credit card at the store to wipe off a shelf, all that shit sold overnight. You paid it before the statement. It's a interest
Yeah,
free loan.
if you pay it off,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you think
yeah, you
about it.
could. Yeah, you could use the debt and sell it before you pay this. Yeah, before the statement hits.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what
some
a
people,
lot
I
of people
wonder how
seem
many
to be
people
doing.
actually do that though, because I feel like a lot of people. There are some smart people that probably are able to do that and have done that in other industry, other like markets. But
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of people are. There's a lot of people that are, haven't invested ever. And I've talked about this before on my channel. People that have never invested and are in the investing YouTube space on Pokemon, it's like you said, it's everywhere, in our faces, in the content where people are talking about values and charts and stuff like that. But they have no, not saying everybody. There are people they have a basis of understanding, or they don't have a basis of understanding for it, and they're just following whatever YouTuber says, to buy, or they're FOMOing and buying something that they can't, it's not high liquidity and they can't turn over.
Yep.
Um, Maybe just because they don't have the channels for it, or they bought it at a bad price. Um, but yeah, it's I forget where I was going with that. There was something.
Now,
The chat's going crazy. There's so many good things in the chat.
I can't read the chat. I know, I'm sorry. I always read the chat, but this is my first vertical live stream. We're testing out a new feature.
Yeah.
I've never had a guest. On my phone, I see my screen, I see him, and I see two fucking lines for the chat, and it's going like
Oh, really?
this. That's how I'm seeing
Yeah.
it on my end.
I
But
have it. I have it pulled up on my computer too, so I'm able to see. But
that's I have the chat on the left through the laptop, but just
yeah,
because we've been mid conversation, I haven't really
yeah,
like
yeah,
looked
yeah,
at
yeah.
it. But I could review it just to see if there's. Give me a second. Let me review
It's
it
up.
to
Yeah,
see
it's
if
up
there's
to you.
anything big.
Yeah, E-Man said he drove by a sports card store and there's a poster of a Charmander in the front window now. That's funny.
Yes, dude. That is something you're seeing. You are seeing that a lot of sports card stores, they have Pokemon displays. Even if they're
Yeah.
empty, they'll have Pokemon displays that they'll have front and center, like right near the front, so you can see it from outside. It's something that's drawn in people too.
Dude, what the Slap podcast, they were talking about it on they did a live podcast a couple days ago, and they were talking about how how Pokemon is a little bit easier than sports because you don't have to bet on like players not getting injured or having a good season. That's what it kind of drives the value of a card, when they're playing and stuff like that. If they have a good season or a good game, or they get injured, it could affect it positively or negatively. With Pokemon, it's like Pikachu's Pikachu. He's always going to be
Yup.
cool, even if he gets
Yup.
hurt. It's not he's not really hurt. He's going to be back next episode in the anime doing his thing. Charizard, the same thing. So you're not getting these like crazy. There's probably other factors, just but like it's not like as volatile like as or like unknowing as like a player in a sports, in some kind of like a professional sport.
And it is true. It is true. It's one less
AMP
contributing
and Pokemon.
factor that can affect the market. It's one less thing for volatility. It's banking on the safer bet as well. It's hedging your bet, which
Yeah,
goes for gamblers. I hedge my bets.
yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I'm definitely gambling with some of this. Like call it gambling or speculating. I mean, like I said, I'm one of those people that grades cards, um, in hopes I get to 10, and it's a bit of like gambling almost, to make some money, but I try to do it in the smartest way as possible. Um,
I got one thing. I'm because I'm going through the whole chat history. I FOMO is the first one I gotta speak out because it's tying into what you're saying. So
yeah.
I feel what you're about to touch on it. He asked, "Do you guys think the market investors are smarter this time around in history
Oh yeah,
from the boom, or is it just repeating itself?"
I saw that. That was a good question. I forgot. That's one of the ones I forgot to tap on. Do you want to touch on it first, or?
Well, no, because I think what you were saying right now, because you were just saying how like you try to be smart with your investments. All right.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of
How?
people like
But
me.
how? How do you try to be smart with
I
your
think they're
investments?
I'll answer it, but I think it's experience, and I think a lot of people hop back in during the 2020 time period, around that time period, give or take a year. But a lot of people who got in here didn't have the experience they needed, and some people did well. Some people bought at the top when it was like 2020, 2021 was like the top, I think, of the market where everything was expensive. I was one of those people still buying cards. Not too many, but then I bought at the top, and then it started to go down for a little while. And I think a lot of people got burned, and they lost a lot of
Hmm.
money in cards. You can go back. There's Instagrams that I follow that'll show like, I think Top 10 Pokemon does it too, where you show like the worst investments, like worst performing cards since that time period. And there's cards that were like the top some blueback Charizard, no number Charizard was like I think like $400,000 it sold for the first PSA 10. and it's like a $30,000 card now. Like that person that bought it at 400 grand, like they lost $370,000. And it's just, it'll show by percentage too. Like, and it's in different price ranges too. It'll show like $1,000, like that Jungle Eevee first edition Eevee was like $1,000, I think, at one point. I don't know what it's at now, but it's still like people lost a lot of money on that card and they thought that card was, going up. So I think a lot of those people that were in that time period that stuck around that didn't get turned off by how much money they may have lost and stuck around, like I'm one of those people that stuck around and stayed with it, have learned how this market cycle works. And I mean, it could always change, but a little bit smarter going into it because of the experience we had with the last boom.
So here's my take on that one. I think investors are smarter in one sense. And I'm going to say, like old people, it's the internet's fault. Straight up. The internet. Why is it the internet's fault? Anybody who wants to become an investor now doesn't have to do all the hard work. They don't have to do shit. They have to do one of three things if they want to become an investor to do it successfully. You find the biggest fucking investment group that has the most people that are making money and you join their investment group. They usually charge you a fee, right? They give you
Yeah,
all the information. That's what you go with. They're the ones who are buying the most shit in the market, putting swings on shit in the market, and you're riding that fucking wave with them. That's one way. You're a part of the sheep and you're being herded. That's one way that an investor who, well, someone who doesn't know about investing can just start investing without knowing anything about investing, without looking into investing. They join this
yeah,
big group and they're just going with that group with what they're being told to do by the one person
yeah,
who's controlling it. That's one way. The second way, they are very tech savvy and they're in a lot of forums and they see that they're in a lot of different groups that are for investors and they start noticing the key things that are different and the key things that are the same, and they go with the ones that are the same because those are the safe bets and they're doing like informed betting. You get me? That's
yeah,
another type of investor. Or the
yeah,
third investor, like people that have been here before, who have been burned, who know what a certain card has hit before. You know how much it's crashed down to. You know
yeah,
the potential it has when there's a boom. So you know which cards to start putting your money into as they start trekking back up. You
yeah,
know which Pokemon are more popular. You know which one are the mascots, which one have more prints. You know when a card is reprinted because, oh, that card came out in a different set. It's not going to be worth as much in this set, maybe. The first one's going to be worth a little bit more, but it's not going to be worth as much as it was because now there's another print. So it's easier to get. You know these things, and it's the experienced investor. We have more experienced people because it's an older market. It's no longer a market that's 5 years old. So people aren't just taking shots in the dark.
yeah,
Now it's 29 fucking years.
yeah,
Now there's data, historical data, almost 3 freaking decades worth of data. Now there's college courses that are probably taught on Pokemon investing.
yeah.
And if it's not a fucking thing, Base Showcase came up with it first. You
Mhm.
get me?
Join my Patreon.
So the investors now are smarter. The investors now are more accurate. The investors
Yeah,
now are faster. Why? Sometimes you don't got to stand in a fucking store in the middle of the fucking rain. Now you're at home with 8 goddamn computers and everyone linked up to a different store under a different account. Max limit, max limit, max limit. Yeah, bitches, pallets coming in next Tuesday.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
difference now. The internet
It's true.
made that possible.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot in the last 5 years since the last boom that people have made more efficient, and they've found the arbitrage opportunities. So a lot of like that stuff is the margins are way thinner, I feel like, this time around on things because a lot of people are doing it. There's more competition as a seller, and then it's just easier to be done. Like there's not as many barriers to entry as there was before. Not saying there was a lot in the last one, but the market's growing, the industry's growing, it gets easier, more buyers, more sellers. And there are more experienced people like you just said, but I think too there's a whole bunch of new people this time around too. So there's
Yep.
those people that are going to have that they're the ones buying at the top this time. There might be still some people buying at the top from last time, who knows, but yeah, there's a whole new group of people that are coming in, and yeah, they'll learn this time. Some of them will leave because they'll get burned, and they'll just be bored of it. They'll, it's the hype thing. They'll be bored of it eventually. Maybe when the prices go down and all this stuff gets reprinted. But then there'll be some that stick around, and the market will probably grow bigger than it was before.
I got another one. Ricky Hernandez, how's it going, brother? He asked, "Do you feel the vast majority may feel like everyone is doing this when in reality it's a smaller population than you actually realize? How much is bad actors and not the actual collector?" So I have one thing to say on that one. I think you're half right on one, half right on the other. I do think it's a smaller population of people doing this because for every 1,000 hobbyists, it could only be maybe 10 people that are investors that swoop up pallets, and that would have been enough for those hobbyists that now feeds just a small amount of investors. So I do think it's a smaller population in comparison to other populations of groups in the hobby, like hobbyists, like collectors, like for those price swings. You get me? However, I don't think that it's actually just a small group or just a select number of bad actors. I think it is a big deal still because it's worldwide. We don't just see shortages of Pokemon here. Isn't there shortages in Japan? Isn't it difficult to get certain sets? It's
Yeah.
difficult for my friends up in Canada. It's difficult for the friends in UK. It's difficult everywhere in the freaking world. It's not just that dude you hate from down the street who's always taking the fucking Pokemon cards. It's motherfuckers around the world.
Yeah,
They're
Pokemon,
everywhere.
or Brian NE, Pokemon NE, Brian from Poke
Yeah.
NE. He said, he was saying on a recent
And
video
Ricky,
that
I'm not trying
even
to be
like the
disrespectful. I'm cursing a lot in this stream, but honestly,
it's
I'm not
passion,
cursing at anyone. This is just me unhinged.
it's
This is just
passion.
me going on a rant. Again, I'm not being disrespectful. And
He
Ricky,
was,
I was answering your question. You get me? But I
yeah.
wasn't being disrespectful towards you. But since I am cursing more than usual, I feel I gotta drop that disclaimer real quick.
He was saying that even the Korean and Chinese boxes have gone up significantly. Like they're $40. They're pretty cheap boxes too. And like the Japanese boxes. And he said they're like, I think retail like Korean boxes like at 40, around 40, and they're selling for like 60, which is not really heard of for Korean, but because of the demand right now, it's so high. And Japanese, English is out, Japanese is out, so people are going to Korean or Chinese to get boxes. But yeah,
And it
I
is
think
true.
back to Ricky's question, I do have that feeling too, where I'm like, is it just because we're so deep in we're on YouTube all the time? Like some of us, like our group of people, even the people in the chat, are just on Instagram, every day, or on YouTube every day, looking at Pokemon, related content. And is it just because we're, surrounded by it that it feels a lot bigger than it actually is? I think it is big, but I do have that somewhat of that feeling too, where like, how big is it actually?
No, and that is true because I've contemplated both sides of the coin. Everything I'm speaking about, I've put some thought into right now. It's not like I'm just shitting out my ass right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I've thought about it, but I mean, I didn't fucking do a bunch of research and write notes and come up with this argument. I've been thinking about it. I've been looking into it. I've got a noggin. I can put a couple things in there, mix them around, and come up with a formula.
yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Oh, E-Man was saying it's also how easy it is now to just sell through third-party websites. You don't got to pay fees. You don't have to pay advertising. He put something up on OfferUp and sold it within 24 hours. And you don't pay
Oh,
eBay fees. You don't pay advertising fees. You get your full money.
I've never used OfferUp, but yeah, like I said, there's like
Yeah.
so many more vehicles to sell your stuff. Everything's super efficient now. You can, it's going to be even more efficient if, well, this is a different topic. I won't even touch on it because we'll go forever.
Well, I mean, you could say it, but we won't
Yeah, we
like
don't have
make
to get into
a lot of
it, but
people.
like the tag grading, they want to
Mm-hmm.
do remote grading pods,
Aye.
where they're like, you can go just walk into a store and grade your card through a machine, an AI grading, machine. And so I was thinking about the other day, I was like, the day a set releases, you could open a pack, get the hit from the pack, grade it at the store, have it in a slab, put it up on eBay, and be first to market, sell it within less than 24 hours of the card coming out. Like the hit, you could like if there's an Umbreon or Charizard in the next set, whatever, you could have it graded the same day, sell it the same day on eBay for a crazy price. Like that's the most efficient you can get. Besides
Yeah.
having a grading pod in your house. Like,
But all right. So we won't touch the tag thing, but
yeah,
I'm gonna say these three things. In order for that to be effective, tag has to have an established market value, not a hypothetical market value, not a maybe it's worth 30 today, maybe it's 80 tomorrow. I don't
yeah,
know. It's got to be something consistent. With
yeah,
PSA, I feel for a while there was a consistency in the price of their slabs.
yeah. They've been around
That's
forever.
always
Yeah,
a $20 PSA slab. That's always a
yeah.
$25 slab.
It's
Not
a
a
lot easier
that's
to
a
say how much it's
23 and
worth.
that's a 29, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I totally
That's
agree.
first.
There are.
Second thing,
Oh, go ahead.
it's AI. Fuck the machines. Fuck the machines. Terminator taught you motherfuckers. Don't trust the
Yeah,
machines. And the whole whitening issue. You know how I landed on that whitening issue with that card that they missed and
oh
that they
yeah,
went and
yeah,
changed.
yeah,
That was their AI, and it's already out to market. It's no longer in a testing phase. I don't want to be a test experiment for them to see if they hit. I don't want to be a guinea pig. I don't want to pay to be a guinea pig. You want to grade my entire
yeah,
fucking collection, and if it hits, then I'm good. But if it doesn't, I still showcased your shit because it's a fucking commercial now. That's cool. But I'm not gonna pay you to grade it, to showcase it and be a commercial right now. And if it hits, cool. I bet right because it was gambling. If it
yeah,
doesn't, then now I gotta crack it and maybe I ruined it and now it's not worth sending the PSA. You get me?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still trusting PSA. I'm a PSA bitch that way. I'm a
Yeah,
basic
I'm
bitch.
sent. I just sent one sub to tag, but I send most of my
Yeah,
cards. I've only ever sent to PSA
I
before
wouldn't
because
mind.
of like the price history. Like you said, it has there's a consistency to it, and there's like a less of a gamble. Back to gambling, less of a
Yeah,
gamble with sending the cards to
yeah.
PSA, even though there
And
is some variance in what your cards will come back as. But
I'm not hating on tag and saying no one should do it. I'm just saying for people that are saying as an investment, it's smart.
yeah,
Nah, motherfucker. You know,
yeah,
I don't think so. It's a gamble. It's a big gamble. I
yeah,
say if you're
agree.
gonna invest with a slab, PSA is still it's still number one. That's what I'm saying on that. But I don't invest. I don't have shit that I grade. But when I do, you bet your sweet ass it's gonna be through PSA and not tag, at least in this point of time. Down the
Yeah,
road, who knows? But I also wouldn't be against a couple slabs through tag because I do like how the slab looks.
yeah, it looks
I
cool.
might have a card that's shitty that I know is gonna be PSA 5, PSA 4. Fuck it. Send it to tag. Why? I'm gonna just put it up to showcase, baby. It's a
Yeah,
piece of shit slab. It's not an investment. I know I took a loss on it, but I love that tag look. All right, do that. Why send my perfect one to them when I could send it over here and I know it's probably gonna get a 10 over here. And that 10's gonna hold its value long term, in my opinion, over the one of a new one, of a new
yeah.
up and comer. But again, I'm not saying fuck tag completely, nobody go with them. I'm just saying, why are you going to tag when you go to them?
Yeah, some people, yeah, I don't think they. Some people are like you, and they understand that there is no like pride. There's no, they're what 2, 3 years old. I know they were founded 10 years ago or whatever, but they've only been a grading company for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
And there's people like I'm on a tag Facebook group, and there's so many people that are just like already like, you know, unquestioning fans with like no doubt in tag, and it's like there's no price history. This is part of the part of the market cycle and the hype in Pokemon right now, and it's like the new exciting thing. Tag is really exciting. It's really cool. It's an industry disruptor. People are calling it because it's totally AI and the grading reports and all this. But there's there's a lot of you got to also think of like, well, this hasn't been going on for that long, and it could change.
yeah.
So
Because tag's not the first one that used AI to grade. There's
yeah,
been other companies that did, and
AGS was one.
yep. And what
I
happened
don't
to
even know if
them?
they're still around. And that was what King Pokemon, Gary King Pokemon is like a
Yeah.
part of that company too. And it's like
What
he
about
couldn't get that
Arena
off the
Club?
ground. What?
Arena Club.
I don't know what that is.
Look that one up if you can. Arena Club grading. That's another
Okay.
one.
It's another AI
And
one.
I believe that they used it in their thing because that was like one that came out and they had a little bit of popularity. I did a video with them at Card Party. Card Party 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, they kind of
I'll look him
fizzled
up.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even heard of him. But yeah, there is the other companies that have definitely been there. So that's another thing, like you said, to to think about when you're so bullish in tag. But like I said, I sent a sub the other day. It just got there, so I'm excited to see. I sent 30 cards. I'm excited to see what they come back as. Who knows if I'll be stuck with them or not? Like if people don't want to buy them, we'll see how liquid they are on the on the markets. But um, yeah,
Broly, Broly just
yeah, we got a
said
lot of people
perfectly.
chat. What do you say?
Broly said, "I'm going with both PSA and tag. Because I like how tag looks. So
Yeah,
he's going with tag because he likes how they look. There's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, like, Broly has a fucking eye for that shit. He literally in his Discord he posted today, he got upcharged like $500 by PSA because too many motherfuckers got tens and their shit were worth way more than those fucking nines. He's
that's
reaching out to
yeah,
them to make sure they all pay their fees, but like, damn, that's a good
yeah,
problem to have.
yeah.
Damn,
I'm
guys.
okay with that. Yeah,
PSA charged me. Why? I got too many
the cards are
tens.
too expensive. Yeah.
Damn. Broly right there. That's what's up, bro. You already know, man. Broly, I'm gonna have to talk to you about my next submission, bro. I got two Pokemon Center stamped EV promos from Prismatic Evolutions.
Yeah, FOMO said he didn't get upcharged. That's another good thing is when you don't get upcharged on a big card that you hit a 10 on. Um, but yeah, I don't mind the email saying that they need to upcharge me. The last one it was this blueback Top Sun Gengar back there, and then
Mm.
there's no like last solds on it because it doesn't come up very often. It's like a lower than pop 10. It's like pop 8 or something because the cards are so hard to grade. But there's one on eBay listed for sale for like 2,500. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Kristen Marie asked, "Are tags grading prices different from PSA?" You just went with a grading for tag. What did you
Yeah,
experience since you've gone through both?
the base tier was $15, so it was like what PSA's base tier used to be around there. Right now they're not doing the $15. They're charging like 19 or 20, I think, because they have so many submissions. But yeah, they have like I think 15 is like their base tier, but their turnaround time is like 10-15 days apparently. So their turnaround time is pretty decent.
Okay. Okay, so and then you have to pay more if you want like that different point system, right? Out of 1,000.
You get so yeah, if you want the 1,000 point system, and then it'll rank your card amongst the similar cards to say if you're the highest ranked in like the grading, like you're the most perfect card out of this particular card. And then also your like grading report, because they do grading reports. The grading report is more in depth. It's the dig report, and it'll show like high resolution scans and like stuff that you can't see, like scuffs and scratches you can't see with like the naked eye. You'll be able to see on these scans, so you can see what the machine actually saw when it was grading your card.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Um, I lost the spicy steam that I had from earlier. My rant went away. I'm no longer mad.
Yeah, we kinda got off the topic, right? We went to tag. Sorry. Inept,
Yeah.
or was it somebody said something? I don't
Let's take
remember.
a blinky real quick. This is a happy blinky. There's no longer spicy Eddie, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, Nip said it depends on if the market accepts tag, if they blow up or not. Yeah, definitely. And that I think comes with like big names in the hobby pushing it too, or like people with like big cards. Like they have the Pikachu Illustrator graded, then they got just a bunch of the old gold stars. I think yeah, somebody graded a bunch of the old gold stars like Rayquaza and Torchic and stuff like that. All of them in tens, pack tens. Um,
Give me a
but
second.
yeah,
Give me a second.
okay. Um, Bro, if only I only go to tag if I know PSA will screw me with the card. If I see 55-45, it's going to tag or else PSA. Yeah, I
Oh, he
think
only goes
55-45.
50-50 for PSA?
Or it's going to tag. He said if he sees 55-45, he's going to tag or else PSA. I'm not sure if that means if it's more than 55-45 or closer to the 50-50, he goes to PSA.
Oh, okay.
E-Man still gets discount emails from AGS. You're like 100% off now.
Oh, well,
I've never used AGS.
you've never used AGS?
No, I mean I remember like when they were popular and stuff, and then I never had like a desire to. I don't know. I got bitten by the tag bug. Everybody's talking about it, and now I'm like, I just had like a. All of a sudden, I'm like, I'm gonna submit everything I was gonna send to PSA, and that submission was like, I'm just gonna send it to tag instead. Part of it was PSA's taking forever on the returns for submissions, so I was like, I'll try it out.
That is what I've seen. I've seen some people are going because of the time frames, right?
Yeah,
But that's a gamble, dude. Because if
yeah,
tag doesn't take off, if the market doesn't accept it, right? Let's say you don't get rid of all those slabs that went through tag because of the time frame, and something happens with tag or whatever, and like the prices aren't quite there, you stand to lose a little bit of the profit that way, right? Because you didn't get it through PSA.
yeah.
Like that's
It-
that's a little
yeah.
bit of that risk.
Yeah, depending on how much if I can't, like, I'm gonna immediately probably list these for sale. But if for some reason I can't sell them,
Yeah.
or they're gonna sell for like a significantly less, then I might just crack them and send them to PSA for if they're worth, like, if the cards are worth enough. I can't honestly remember everything I sold, but I think there was like some Sun and Moon stuff, um, and it was like, yeah, Sun and Moon, and then on like Sword and Shield and Scarlet Violet, but. Um,
Was it a big submission through tag?
There's 30 cards. Merc did one too. Merc said he
That's
did.
sizable.
I
I
don't
know
know how
Merck
many he
did.
did, but
I know Merck did. I'm excited to see how Merck turns out. But again, so Merck, when he submitted it with tag, and remember, and he let us know that he was gonna do it. Like I see it as an experiment. Like
yeah, that's
it's
kind of, yeah.
that's how I saw it. So I'm like, okay, I'm invested. I'm like, so how's the experiment going, Merck? You get me? Just
Yeah.
because I'm skeptical on tag, again, I'm not saying the fuck with them like it should like go bankrupt. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just tread lightly. If you know something lies beneath the water and you're not sure what it is, don't draw attention from it and bring it towards you. Just tread lightly around it. You get me? That's I guess that's a good way of stating it.
Yeah. That's why I just sold. I just sent that one sub, and I wanted like a decent size, so I did 30. And then I'm probably gonna send to PSA. I'm gonna send one to ARS too. The ARS is the Japanese grading company out here. But they don't have a submission period until April. So when April comes around, I'll send a sub to ARS, and I think they max you out at 20 cards, but and then I'll send the rest to PSA, probably just have to wait whatever time. Hopefully, I doubt it's going to be like this. But remember were you grading last time? There was a big boom where it was like PSA had
Well,
like 9 to 12 months waiting period for
I
card
only
submissions to get back.
graded one card ever,
Oh yeah,
one
okay,
single card, the Chansey.
yeah, but that's
That was a
CGC,
card
right?
party too.
In
Yeah.
person, right? Yeah,
Yeah. So in
okay,
person, I was like, "Here, motherfuckers,"
yeah,
and they took it, and they're like, and it came back, and it's a 10, and I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy. A 10
"Yeah,
Chansey, that's crazy.
yeah."
AMPM said, Shug, do you source for grading in person in Japanese shops or just order online? Both. It's more of a gamble online, I feel like,
It is. It
because
is.
there's stuff you can always never see. Like, I feel like not everything is picked up in photos, but yeah, I do source stuff in person when I can, because I like to look at the card and make sure it goes it's good enough for grading usually. And
So,
then
all
there's
right.
something, if it's like collection stuff, like vintage stuff, I really don't mind as much because I know there's going to be some kind of damage. But go ahead.
Inept card collector said something, and it's gonna bring me to a good point. He said, I think I've seen vids in my feed nearly daily of people trying out Tag, and Tag even comments on their videos and takes their feedback. It's not generic replies either. Take it from somebody that worked in customer service in the gun industry during one of the biggest booms in America, where there was gun shortages. And this is legal gun sales through legal gun dealers. It's a gun manufacturer. Take it for somebody that worked in customer service. I reached out to many of people during that time. I reached out personally. It was my job to make it a personal reply, to make it personal to them. It's just a good PR thing. That's it. It's a lot
Yeah,
of employees. I'm a big company. I'm going to get a great amount of staff. I'm going to train the shit out of them, make my company look great. Everybody that's saying something online, it's going to tag that company. That company's going to be notified, hey, you're on my staff. Get on it right away. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean the company itself is any better or the company itself is any greater at grading. They have perfect customer service. That's what that means. If you have an issue, they're supposed to reach out to you immediately, but they're getting a big surge. There's videos coming out about people getting delays. Before you used to get reached back out within 24 hours. Now there's people going days or not getting reached out to.
Yeah.
There's more people reaching out because there must be more issues. There's people experiencing delays that they didn't experience before. There was supposed to be issues going on where they were moving some stuff out of storage and getting and leasing more building space. Also, they were building new machines for grading. You don't build a fucking machine in 10 days. It takes a while. Manufacturing takes a fucking long time.
Yeah.
Expansion of a business takes months. And what's that going to delay you? A year, two, year and a half, two? You never
Yeah.
fucking know.
It
Like,
depends on how much, yeah, they're upscaling.
so
They did send out
the
what?
best thing to do, you bulk up your customer service and you make it look like the company's bigger. You make it look like the company's more active. You
Yeah.
have one small arm that's just more vocal.
Yeah, they do that too in their Facebook group. They have the Facebook group for tag that I'm in, and they'll reply to messages. Like if you post a question, not all of them, but for like a significant amount of them, they'll be in there answering your question in the tag Facebook group. And then also back to what you were saying, how they're growing and people are experiencing like delays and stuff like that. They have a submission kit for people who aren't familiar. They have like a submission kit you can get. You don't have to use this. You could send your cards in a cardboard box like you do to PSA, but they have a like a special like kit you can buy to help you submit their cards perfect like every time how they want it submitted. And that kit, they said they're not even taking orders on anymore because
Oh,
their shipping and handling department is so inundated with like extra shipments and people submitting now that they're like, we can't even deal with sending those things out. So for the time being, we're not doing that right now. Just send them in a cardboard box. So it's kind of
damn.
it ties in with what you said, where
Yeah,
there is some delay and some like issues with scaling probably right now because of how inundated they are with submissions. But uh, yeah.
yeah. And then so iFOMO brought up something. He said to Broly Pools, I hear Mystic Rips on YouTube is part owner. Maybe he can get you an interview. um that brings up a point. Mystic Rips has a big rip and ship thing, right? Like,
I think that, yeah, he's a whole company
yeah.
for it.
And he is somehow invested in that company, right?
I think
And he
so.
said it in his video. I recall seeing the video, and he said
Oh yeah, he did at the
he is
beginning. Yeah,
invested in one way or another. I'm not saying how, but bro, if you reach out, you did say it in the video. You released the video
yeah, in the beginning of
saying,
that one video. Yeah,
um, and he said he's gonna be sending a big submission right through that company in that video. Okay, so you're a rip and shipper, and you just invested in a grading company, and you send a big order over there, which you're invested in that company, so you're grading your own cards now to make money off your rip and ship. Maybe you're trying to inflate the prices on the market.
yeah.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying that video coming out, all the hype behind it, everybody promoting it, everybody saying that that's worth going. And he's a big rip and shipper, and he does make money off sales. And he is kind of invested in that company. And he did come out with that video saying he's making a big submission. I mean, it does stand that you do stand to make money off it. And I think even in the video, he like mentions like that he does stand to make money off it, you know?
Yeah, I think he gives a disclaimer just
Yeah.
to be kind of
Yeah.
transparent.
And I'm not being
Same.
disrespectful, and I'm not saying he can't do it. And I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's morally wrong. I'm just saying it is what it is.
Yeah, same
And
with Jesse Pang.
yeah,
Jesse Pang, he was one of the like part in he's an investor in Tag, and he was on Rob Burns' channel and talking about Tag and everything. And then he's actually the one when I was talking about those gold stars, like the Gold Star Rayquaza, Torchic, all those. He's the one that cracked him out of CGC slabs and got him graded with Tag to get 10. So it gives that like kind of like reputability to the company that, oh, we grade big cards too. But
yeah,
he's a part investor, and so maybe whether
yeah,
he likes Tag or not for the actual company, or if he's it's part of marketing, but who knows? Maybe a
yeah,
little bit of both.
yeah. So I mean, If I don't sell shit, I don't sell shit. I have friends right now here in the chat that sell, and I have immense respect for them. Broly Pools, he's in the chat. He sells. I love the guy. Feller Chris is in the chat. He sells. I love that guy. They're my friends in real life, so I have nothing against salespeople. You get me? And I have nothing against salespeople. So again, this isn't against Mystic Rips. I'm having a conversation with my fucking friend Shug over in Japan on my damn channel, and we're fucking streaming it on YouTube. That's what this is. This is a rant. And Mystic, blame the blinkies. Blame the blinkies. I'm nobody. I'm nobody. But again, if I had a fucking store, if I sold shit, I wouldn't invest in a grading company and have that be the grading company I'm using for the product I'm selling. I think it just doesn't sit right with me, and I wouldn't do it. But I'm not saying no one else can. Broly Pools grades, but I don't think Broly Pools owns PSA or CGC or Tag. And Broly Pools, you're in the chat, and again, I'm not saying disrespect, but I'm saying I know you grade and I know you sell, but I don't think you own those companies. So I respect that because there's no conflict in my eyes. But for someone that grades and sells and then owns the company that grades and uses that company that grades to sell that shit on the platform, that's like a freaking hourglass. You're trying to like make your stuff worth more. But bro,
So if
PSA
I'm
16.
gonna be honest, here's my turn to get canceled. If I'm being honest, if I was in that position and I could own a grading company and sell cards, I probably would, honestly. I think I'd be super
I would
transparent
not
about
hate
it.
you. I would
I'd be
not hate
super
you.
transparent about it
Yeah.
and let people know, yeah, I own this company and this is what it is. But I think honestly, I probably would if I was in that position.
You'd own up to
Um,
it.
yeah, I would be
You'd own
like,
up to it.
yeah, I own this
And I'm not
company,
saying
but I
he's not.
also, yeah,
I'm not saying he's not owning up to it. I'm not calling him out. I'm not doing shit. And again, this might be the last fucking live stream on my channel because we might get shut down tomorrow. He might reach out and shut me down. And I don't,
no,
I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a dumb piece of shit filming in my house. I'm just in a fucking t-shirt. You get me? I don't make money off this damn channel. Shit. I lose money off this damn channel. But I'll say how it is. And I mean, it just looks bad. It looks bad to me, and that's part of the reason why I'm more against grading with tag right now. Because
yeah.
that's one of the big domino pieces that I'm seeing, and I'm like, I don't want to play that game.
Yeah. Quick question. Do you think we value slabbed cards too much over like the raw card?
Okay, I think we do, and you know why? Because I have over 7,000 cards raw. I think in
Mhm.
my collection for like a single copy of those cards, I have like over 7,000 raw, and I have maybe 10 to 12 slabs.
Oh yeah.
I don't value slabs as much. You know why I have slabs? Because I won them, or they were in a mystery bag, or they were a gift. I never graded a fucking card except the Chansey, and that's because card party, baby. That was a miracle. That was a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah,
I
special
never,
moment.
I never
And they gave
thought
you the pedigree on it, right?
it had the pedigree. There was
Yeah.
no fucking way I'd get that card slabbed up how I did if it wasn't because of that. I
Yeah.
was there at card party too. I had Pat Flynn was there. They contacted Pat Flynn and had to confirm shit before they accepted the submission. I had to go through their actual guy that comes out in their commercials. That motherfucker was there. I don't remember his name, but he signed off on it and had to put his fucking business card in there in the submission with the card just to
That's
make sure I
crazy.
get the goddamn pedigree. I had the footage of me pulling the card. We're examining the footage on my fucking GoPro because it's unreleased footage. He's checking the swirl pattern on that shit, looking at the fucking card right there. Dude, like, I had to jump through so many hoops, but I needed that. That card wasn't done up like that because I'm getting rid of it. That's the motherfucking channel. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way I see it. That card, inception of the channel. This channel goes for 10, 20 years. It's still here. It's
Yeah,
still
you
with
said you
us.
have a video you're gonna put together eventually, right? With that,
Yeah, but
that'll be cool.
Brian, he's a trucker. he does long
Mhm.
hauls.
No worries.
So he's our
Whatever.
editor. We
It'd be cool
have
to see though.
over We have over a year's worth of footage backed up that he hasn't been able to work on. So
Damn.
there's gonna be a long lost files of Bay
You're
showcase
fired, Brian. I'm just kidding.
in
A's. It's
the
gonna be
future.
A's showcase. No, I'm just kidding.
You want to edit everything for free? Because if
No,
someone
I
is
hate
willing to edit
editing.
for free, Brian
I
does
hate
everything for
editing.
free.
Dude, I
If
hate
someone's
editing.
willing to edit my shit for free, I have a year's worth of footage that needs editing. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't pay for anything for the channel. We don't pay for
Yeah.
an editor. We don't pay for anybody to do any decals or anything. Sandra's the one who made our logo. She's the one
Yeah.
who helped us with anything that needed like visual shit at first. We don't use anything with visuals now, so we haven't really made anything new. And I'm not able to reach out to her to work on new shit because the whole job situation with Brian, you get me? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah. I don't know if
Brian is
anything's
our editor, and he's on the road. He's not gonna fucking work on editing
Yeah,
shit when he's
that's
on the fucking road.
long hours, right?
Yeah, he has to take care of his family, so
That's
I'm
a
not
different
upset
lifestyle
about
right
it,
there,
you know?
trucker.
Yeah. And then my wife, she's a teacher. She's a full-time teacher. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you're gonna take a new task of editing when it wasn't even what she ever wanted to do. All she ever really was our angel investor. Now that the channel is for the most part self-sustaining. Like she doesn't really have to like put in anything like out of pocket, you know? So now
Yeah.
she gets to get that breathe that sigh of relief, you know? But speaking of which, I mean it's not like the channel is fully self-funded cuz I did some math today. So today's the 28th, right? I had to tally up all my members as of today cuz I bought all of the booster packs that we're going to use for the members free break next month. We have one person that's under the A Bay Bays membership tier. So they're going to get 5 booster packs in that break. And there's going to be a Pokemon booster box break. We have 23 members that are under the Bays Watch Crew tier. Each one of them gets 1 booster pack. So that's 23 plus 5, 28.
Hmm.
We have 9 people under the collector squad. Those are going to be a 1 in 3 odd. We're only going to give 3 packs to that tier. That's the lowest tier. They're never guaranteed anything. They get put on a wheel. We usually give them a 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. We're gonna give them a 1 in 3. So that's a grand total of 31 booster packs. So I have 31 booster packs of Pokemon, right? Check out the numbers though. All I got after YouTube from all those memberships is $93. You think I got 31 packs of fucking Pokemon right now at today's market rate for 93 fucking dollars?
No.
No. I spent where is it? Give me a second. Did I do the math on how much I spent? So what's
Like
31 times
$450.
550? 31 times 550. I got each pack at 550. 5
165, 170.
170 with 50 cents. Yeah, so minus 93. So I took a loss of $77.50. You get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they're gonna be Astral Radiance packs. I ordered them from the Pokemon Center. They're gonna be arriving next week. If they arrive Wednesday in the morning, we'll run that stream Wednesday afternoon. If they arrive fucking Wednesday afternoon or Thursday, then I'm gonna run the stream Friday. But each one of those members is gonna get their pack. Whatever the hell we pull inside of there, that's theirs. I got 40 packs. I'm only giving 31 away. That means 9 packs are mine, and whatever the fuck's in there, that's mine. Because I paid $220 for the 40 packs through Pokemon Center. So again, I made absolutely nothing. I lost 70 whatever I just fucking said. That's what I'm losing, but those members are gonna get their hit. We're not gonna swap out a hit or anything. So if you membered up in February, you know who the hell you are because you paid for your membership or you got the membership gifted. You know your tier. You now know what the pack is that you're gonna be receiving. So I know there's people here in the chat. They now know what they're gonna be receiving.
All right. I'm gonna have to probably get off here in a bit. I went a little bit
You're gonna head
longer
off.
than I
Well,
gotta it's
it,
still
it, it
only 2:50 p.m. here, so I gotta go
yeah.
be a family
I thought it
man.
was gonna be a half-hour thing. It went for 70
I know I went
minutes.
a little longer than I
Yeah.
was going
You know
to.
what? Fuck it. Let's just end it. I'm not gonna open shit here. Just so everybody sees I wasn't fucking lying. Hyborian Gates, limited edition, sealed booster box.
Dang.
I had it ready just to open. It was gonna be what I opened in the background as we talk, but I went on a rant. I probably pissed off a lot of people. That wasn't the goal today, but yeah, that's
Nah.
the first fucking rant we had on the channel. I think it might be the second. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm entitled to one. Laters, everyone. Shug, dude.
Yeah, thank you
First
for having
guest
me
ever
on.
here.
I appreciate you guys having me on, and then I appreciate the chat was going crazy. I'm not used to this
Yeah.
many people on. I don't do too many lives, but yeah, chat was going crazy. A lot of good stuff in chat too.
I'm sorry for not reading the chat. It's just this was a different stream. I swear it's gonna be better next time. Y'all know I don't try to ignore anybody, but y'all, this was a test. And again, I might be canceled. That might be the last live stream ever. You're welcome. If not, expect to see me back here Monday. If I don't get killed by an angry mob with torches, expect me Monday. Angry mob, be warned. I'm ready for you. Until next one. Laters, everyone.